Today I'm going to talk a little bit about upgrading to Windows 11. I'm guessing most of you have probably come across Windows 11 already to some extent, but there's actually a few gotchas that you need to watch out for with Windows 11. So, why would you want to upgrade? So, some of the things that are in Windows 11, design and feature enhancements. Those of you who have actually seen it, you'll notice that the start menu has moved around a little bit. And some of the things that tended to get a little bit annoying about the start menu in Windows 10, such as the active tiles, have disappeared. And according to Microsoft's marketing department, it is a sleek, modern design. Well, I mean, that's pretty subjective, so let you make up your own minds about that one. One of the things it's inherited that wasn't in Windows 10 is the ability to integrate Android apps into it as well. It's a little bit speculative as to what will work and what won't, but you know, Microsoft are saying that actually most Android apps will work in Windows 11 should you want them to. Improved integration with Microsoft services such as OneDrive and Teams for those who actually use them. Improved gaming functionality, which, you know, as we're talking about business here, of course, you would never ever use. And probably the main thing is that support for it's going to end in 2025. So you probably want to think about start thinking about upgrading now. So Windows 11 comes in 3 main editions, although there are some variations of this. So Windows 11 Home, that is typically what you're going to get if you wander into Curry's PC World and buy a laptop off the shelf there. Windows 11 Pro and Windows 11 Enterprise. There's also some special education versions there, which kind of do more or less the same thing, but they're sold at a lower price for educational institutions. And there's also Windows 11 Pro Workstation, which is designed for high performance platforms and things like computer aided design, 3D rendering and the like. So things to be aware of. Probably the main gotcha, particularly if you're looking at older hardware, is the need for a thing called a trusted platform module. The trusted platform modules basically a cryptographic resource that sits within your laptop and enables the generation of secure keys. If you've already used BitLocker, Microsoft's encryption software in Windows 10, chances are you've got one of those unless you've really gone around the houses to implement it. But the difference here is that Windows 11 will not install without it now. So even if you don't fancy using the encryption, you still need it. You also need UEFI-based firmware. This is actually something that replaced the old BIOS for those of you who've played around with computers for a while. But essentially that is now a must for Windows 11 where it wasn't for Windows 10. You also have to watch out for compatibility. If you've got some old specialist hardware or anything like that, you might find that the drivers for it aren't compatible with Windows 11. The other thing is that Microsoft are now actually enforcing the use of a Microsoft account. It's kind of interesting some of the reactions that you get to this. That quite a lot of people really do not want to do that. Conceptually, it's actually not a lot different to having having an Apple ID if you're a Mac user. And you know, most Mac users have have done that for some time. But Microsoft do seem to be getting a little bit of a backlash for that. They're currently only enforcing it in the Home Edition and not in the Pro or the Enterprise at the moment. Ooh, I got carried away with myself there. So, I mean, going back to the editions, which edition should you actually be using? Well, as with Windows 10, Windows 11 Home doesn't include some of the advanced functionality. The main one being the BitLocker encryption is not included in Windows 11 Home. So if you're actually using a Windows machine for business at all, any business purposes at all, you should be using a minimum of Windows 11 Pro so that you can encrypt the hard drive on there. Otherwise, if you're ever unlucky enough to get your laptop stolen or lost, you may find yourself being in trouble with the Information Commissioner's Office for a data breach. So, in summary then, would you upgrade to Windows 11 now? It largely, it depends a lot on whether you've got a compelling reason to do so, such as an application that you want to use that is only compatible with Windows 11. I've certainly not come across those yet, so probably the answer is that if you're not looking at a huge number of users, you can probably afford to hold off for now, especially if Windows 10 is actually doing what you need it to do. If you're a slightly larger organization, then you need to start planning because you're going to be losing support in 2025. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Yeah, hi, that was brilliant, Lee. Thank you. It's yeah, they are a bit strict, the rules, aren't they? I've got I've just recently had to play around with it on a spare PC that I've bought, a Lenovo. It's only 5 years old, but it's unsupported. 5 years old and it's unsupported because the processor just misses the cutoff, or is just after the cutoff, which is crazy because it's perfectly capable of running. I went online and basically loaded it up as an unsupported machine using the information that's on the Microsoft site, and I've just upgraded it to 23H2, which is the new, which is the latest pack, and it works absolutely fine. So the restriction is crazy because it's only the processor that stops it from being upgraded properly. But I'm just worried now because, I mean, luckily it's not my work machine. I only put it on there to see if it would work so I could upgrade the work machine. But I think I'm going to probably just get a new machine for just in case, because they could kibosh it. But it works perfectly fine on old. I mean, I've even tried it on a 10-year-old PC that's got the first generation of the Intel Core things, the i7s. But it's totally unsupported. It hasn't even got a module on it, and it runs fine on there too. So they've put these strict rules in, and there's going to be a lot of e-waste because of it, I think, isn't there?
Yeah. The thing to watch out for there really though is that although it may work now, obviously there's no guarantee that it will continue to work as they
they're probably going to kibosh it, aren't they?
Thank you. Yes, I can see Gina's got her hands up. Gina and then Rachel.
I can see a couple of raised hands.
Rachel and Gina.
Yeah, how do you know what you're on at the moment?
What, in terms of what you're running? Chances are it's Windows 10, but if you run any of the standard Microsoft apps, so sort of Notepad or something like that, and click the About option, it will tell you what you're running.
Thank you.
Kind of a random one, and you may not know the answer to this. virtual Windows boxes, are they supported
Virtual,
on
what?
virtual Windows?
Sorry, virtual.
Windows, because I run Linux, so I have to run a virtual Windows machine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Will that run 11?
It's probably going to depend on what you're using to create the virtual environment. I mean, I know you can do it with Microsoft Hyper-V. I've done that, and you'd probably be surprised if that didn't work. You can do it with VMware as well. I've done that, although I'm not certain it's officially supported.
Cool. Thank you.
Lee, if people need help upgrading, can you help them? Is it something that you do?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
With migrating all their stuff over from a previous.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, however they want to do it, we can support a migration from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Yeah, no problem at all.
Awesome. Thank you.
And one last one from me then, mate. So in terms of pricing between the different tiers, does it become quite expensive or
Yes. Yeah. I mean, basically, Home is the cheapest of the lot, and that will be the one that you tend to get with new PCs, particularly if you're buying from a consumer outlet like Currys or the like. Pro and Enterprise, the way you normally I mean, you can buy an outright license for them, but actually the way you normally do it is that they are actually included within some of the Microsoft 365 packages. So instead of having to buy the license for Windows 11 up front, you effectively pay for it as part of your monthly subscription.
Oh, Lee, sorry, just one quick thing. I had a situation. That must be talking about Windows accounts. A lot of people are pissed off because of the privacy issue, aren't they? They don't want to have a Microsoft account. But I had. It was about a year and a half ago. My motherboard failed, and I had to replace the motherboard on my main PC that I use privately, not for work, but I use it for gaming and stuff. So I replaced the motherboard and replaced the processor, and then upgraded the RAM, did everything. So basically it was a new PC, bar the power supply and all the drives. It recognized it as a new PC, and it would normally ask you to, it would say you couldn't previously, before the Microsoft account thing, it would normally say you would have to buy another license, wouldn't you? When I went to activate it, it activated. And because I used the Microsoft account and I wasn't,
absolutely,
and it wasn't hardware locked. Previously, they were hardware locked, weren't they? So there's an upside to having a Microsoft account, isn't there? Even if you.
Oh yeah, and I mean the other upside of it as well. And if you're just using Windows Pro standalone, so it's just you're not joined to a company network. The Microsoft account will actually back up your BitLocker key as well. So if you've encrypted the drive, there will be a copy of the recovery key there if you ever need to get back in. Because one of the things with BitLocker is that if you get locked out and you don't have that recovery key, you are absolutely and utterly stuffed. There is no way of getting your data back.
Well, not even if you speak to Microsoft to help them support you, or no, would they not?
It's not possible.
Even if you prove it's you. Really?
Well, no, it is technically impossible to do it.
Oh wow!
So I mean, Microsoft couldn't even if they wanted to.
Okay. I guess that's the point of it then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the same with Apple as well. There's absolutely no way Apple can break their own encryption.
Oh, thank you.